Oh, YouTube, we are back with some Project New type videos, so let's get started. What's up, people? Today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite Gundam 00 kits outside of the 00 Quanta or 00 Quant, and that is the Raphael Gundam from the Awakening of the Trailblazer movie. This kit is probably one of my favorite kits. A few things are a little bit disappointing about it, some of the things I love, but we'll talk about that all in the review. But let's start off by opening up this box and seeing what's inside. So here we have it, the Raphael Gundam, and just taking a look around the box, this thing is super cool. I love the fact that it has a whole other mobile suit on the top of its head, and if you did not know, this is actually the CeraV version 2, and if we just zoom in right here real quick, you can see that that is a CeraV head right there. The only thing, and this is where it comes into like my disappointment with this kit, is that this did not come as a second model kit, so we can't transform it. And I think that sucks a little bit, but other than that, I think it's super cool. We get these little sub arms that have their own stand, and this thing is essentially based off of the Gedeza and those other model kits. So let's open this box up, and you'll see. Let's start off with the manual, actually. So here it is, the Raphael. Like I said, again, disappointing that that doesn't come as a separate piece, but still love it. Should be a super quick build. I built this years and years ago, but the manual's pretty simple. All these 00 kits are made back in like 2000. When was this one actually made? This was made back in 2010, so this is a 14-year-old kit at this point, which is crazy to think. But all these kits back then were just pretty simple, nothing too crazy about them. And like I said, this kit is based off of all of these. The Gedeza, the Garazo, the Gedes. Not so much Reborn's Gundam, but yeah. So that is the manual, and let's check out the pieces. So first off, we have this little F runner right here. So this is part of the CeraV. Again, there is another F runner, just mirror it. So again, part of the CeraV. Here is the D runner, again, part of the CeraV. A lot of this is part of the CeraV because it's such a big kit. But here is the base for those sub arms. The thing that I hate more than anything else, which are polycaps. And then we have right here because there are a bunch of colors, I'm guessing this is the A runner. Yep, this is the A runner that we have right here as well too. And then this one again, whoop, dropped it. This is a CeraV runner as well. We know that by the massive guns and no part separation, or also just any sort of mechanics that move with it. Again, what we have here is another one. And then finally, well, not finally, we got two little things left. This part is for the actual Raphael Gundam itself. And then here we have all these little polycaps. So that is everything that comes inside of this box. And the next thing that we're going to do now is we're going to snap this bad boy together. So let's check it out. Alright, so here it is. Here we have it, the Raphael Gundam. And again, I like this thing, but it really does show its age. It's insane to think this kit is 14 years old at this point. And it really, like I said, shows its age with a lot of the stuff. There are a lot of seam lines. The arms are very simple connections, and we're just going to remove this first so we can now talk about it as these separate forms that we see here. So that's one issue that we see. The gun is weirdly not very stable in the hand. You got to like really push together the hand right there just so I can hold it, but yeah. But as we look at this thing, let's just kind of zoom in here. The head is completely one color. So if you're not a painter, this kit's going to be a little bit annoying to deal with just because there's a lot to paint. The jewel isn't even red. The eyes you have to paint, you're going to want to either hand paint that or do a reverse wash for it just because it is very, very simple color. And when we look at the arm, I'm going to pull this back a little bit. Looking at the arm here, one of the very annoying things that happens here on this kit, especially older kits, let's zoom back in again, you'll see that there is an uneven point right here. These two pieces don't align and it like one is overlapping. That, I don't know what that's from. I don't know if it's warping on the plastic. This is a very old Bandai kit. So this is still like a red label Bandai model kit. So I've had this for a while, but that little warping is something when you go and try to seam line remove for this model kit, you're really going to want to like make sure that all that's even and you don't have to like sand this down, then do some ply plating under it. But one of the annoying parts for this model kit is how the arm is connected. I hate these peg joints for these model kits. Let's just remove. I hate this old style. It gives no mobility to the actual model kit, and it's interesting and it's kind of cool how it's hidden so well, but when you know that there's just a peg in there, it's like very meh, and it gives you very limited motion for this model kit. But going back to this actual Raphael itself, again, very minimal detail. It's 2010 for this model kit, so I didn't expect like grand detail. But the one thing that you're really going to want to do with this model kit is you're going to want to pick up some thin cement because there are seam lines all over this kit, like the back of this leg right here, on the arms, like we saw before, on the shoulders. And for the most part, yeah, this is going to be your best friend, especially the extra thin cement, just so it dries quicker and you can get those seam lines filled a little bit better. And yeah, that's about it. But I think with this kit, a positive note to it is because you have to do work to it, you can make this thing look really good. There's a lot of room for scribing if you're a scriber, and even if you're not, just removing the seam lines, adding like the little details into things like this right here, those little circles everywhere, the rivets, can really make this kit look a lot better. But as we take off or move away from the Raphael, let's talk about this guy right here, which is actually the CeraVe. So this is one of the things that I dislike about this kit. There's so few parts that we needed to make this an actual moving and working model kit that it annoys me that they didn't do it. Like, you could have just put like a little peg down here that could peg into this, then we make this like a whole little CeraVe unit, but they just decided not to. They just got lazy, I guess, when just like, we don't really need to do that. We could just keep it the way it is. So now what we're left is just this hodgepodge of just stuff that goes on top of the how does this even connect back? I'm like messing up the connection now. That just goes on top of the Raphael Gundam. And what annoys me about this a little bit too is that we got the Nautilus, we got the Seraphim, and to have the head on this but none of this transforming, I think is just kind of like insult to injury. I would have paid more for this kit just to get this thing to transform. One of the issues that, you know, is a little bit annoying is that these hands, they have the static hands, but then they also have the dynamic hands that move as well too. I always suggest just keep the dynamic hands in there. These static hands are like crap. I hate them. Not a big fan of them. But for the most part, this thing is just one big chunk of plastic that goes on top of this kit right here. And luckily, it's just a very easy connection point. It's a connection underneath right here, and it goes on like this extra action base. So you plug that in, and then there we have it. We've got the whole Raphael Gundam. These do attach as well too. We could do a little bit of motion for this. I do like these as the hands. So like all these parts, this opens up a little bit. And then now we've got like these finger motions. These fingers can move like that. So there's a little bit of motion here, then this becomes like a nice little funnel for it. But yeah, for the most part, it's decent. You got to do some work to this kit, like I said, to make it look a lot better than what it is right now. But if you're one of those builders that likes that challenge, like me, I'm definitely going to paint this up and we're going to make this look really good. So I'll show that in like another series or whatever. But yeah, I think this kit is really cool. I still think it's a really fun build to do. You just kind of need to know what you're getting into when you actually buy this kit. So yeah, we'll talk about this in the final verdict for it. And there we have it, people. That is the Raphael Gundam. Like I said, it was a really fun build to do, but that age really does show in the build, seeing that it is about 14 years old at this point. So again, we're gonna do some more stuff on this channel where you guys will see just the entire process of everything that I'm doing with the actual build itself, but also definitely go check the links down below, join our Discord channel, join our Patreon. We also do giveaways on our Discord channel as well too, and we're doing giveaways here on YouTube as well too. So until next time, people, peace.